Today your girl is, for one, decompressing from a very long semester of law school. And I say very long because it just was a whole lot going on this semester. For one, constitutional law was kicking my ass. Literally today, all I wanted to do when I woke up this morning was just sleep. Literally. Like when I woke up, I wanted to go back to bed because that's how tired I am. It is so draining reading and studying all the time. If you've been to school, you know how it is. It's like college, but it's like times 10. And I'm not being dramatic. I'm for real. If you know, you know. Law school is not no joke. That was a big thing for me today. So now I'm gonna take me a little sip of my drink and then we're gonna get into this little legal topic or whatever that's happening today that I know y'all want to know about. I know y'all want to talk about it because all I see on my phone is stuff about Gunna. So let's get into it. Be sure to head over to Dr. Celestine McNeil and purchase any of her books today. Here's what we're gonna do. Hold on. Because honestly, all I really ever be needing to get that together is a little drink, a little something on my chest, okay? So I can say it with my chest. What it do, Anne-Marie Crew? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you've been here and rocking with me, welcome back. Before we get into today's video, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below, share this video with your friend, and your friend's friend. Share the video and turn on your post notifications that you get notified every time your girl posts a new video. And if you have missed any Vlogmas videos thus far, because we are now officially on Vlogmas Day 14, you need to pause the video right here, right now, run it back, watch the other ones, catch up, like them. I'm telling y'all to do so much stuff, but it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. But for real, Make sure you're subscribed, turn on your post notifications, watch all of the other Vlogmas videos. It's the perfect time for you to binge watch on these videos and just, you know, catch up so you know what's tea. Let's get into today's video. Today, your girl is, for one, decompressing from a very long semester of law school. And I'll say very long because it just was a whole lot going on this semester. For one, constitutional law was kicking my ass. And I mean like kicking my ass. But I feel confident enough to say that I passed. I know I passed. Now, y'all know I be on the whole little ace law school wave, and I'm still on it. I'm still gonna do it. It's still the goal that I'm striving for. But con law, we just gonna let God deal with that. So decompressing from the semester, because literally today, all I wanted to do when I woke up this morning was just sleep. Literally. Like when I woke up, I wanted to go back to bed because that's how tired I am. It is so draining reading and studying all the time. If you've been to school, you know how it is. It's like college, but it's like times 10. And I'm not being dramatic. I'm for real. If you know, you know. Law school is not no joke. So juggling a whole bunch of other things while going to law school is very much so tiring, and I am very tired. I am not drained though. So I say I woke up this morning wanting to go back to bed and like tired because for one, it's just the thought of knowing that I'm on a break. So the thought of knowing, yay, we have accomplished this big goal and reached another milestone. And now I want to rest because rest is important, and I do not get lots of rest, even outside of law school. But I also have to remember, well, I also had to remember this morning when I wanted to go back to bed, like, hey, sis, you're not where you want to be yet. So you need to get to it and do what you need to do. So now, even though it's a break from law school, it's like the perfect time for me to really jump into the other things that I want to do to accomplish the goals that I set out to accomplish at the beginning of this year, to finish off this year and then finish off the quarter, but also to set new goals and to just kind of keep goals in motion, because although you set goals out in whatever quarters or beginning of the year, whatever the case may be, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to accomplish them all by the end goal that you set or by that date. So that's kind of where I am today. Mentally, I just feel tired, but I know that I have to continue to push through because I know that this is the time that I'm going to have that's free technically, but not really free because I'm just the type of person that has to be doing so much stuff at a time to really feel like good, not good, but to feel fulfilled. I guess what fulfills me is knowing that I have A, B, and C to accomplish those goals, and I'm working on X, Y, and Z too in the meantime. So I have to constantly be moving and working on things. And also, I think what is very humbling for me today as well, and humbling throughout this entire semester of law school, and my decompression, and my moments of being able to just kind of sit back and reflect on what I've been dealing with, and not bedtime, reflect on the things that I've been dealing with and the things that I've been growing through. So a lot has definitely happened, and this video is not really about to, I'm not really about to go into depth about things because it's life, right? Things happen to me, things happen to you, and like it is what it is. Today, the self-care was all about me staying in the house. I wanted to go out and drive Uber, but I did not. So I stayed in the house and I worked on new things that I wanted to do. I created some word search puzzles, and I'm about to throw them babies up on Amazon and sell them bad boys. I edited Vlogmas Day 13 video, which was late, so y'all already got that. If you have not watched it, it's up here on the screen. Click it, go watch it. And then I also just did a lot of brainstorming of things that I have to, like things that I must accomplish by December 31st. So that's kind of what my day was like today, for real. And then I also took a lot of time throughout my day to write down new plans that I have and just new thoughts that I kind of, well, not that I kind of, new thoughts that emerged over the semester that I want to also put into work and implement. So it don't really sound like I did a lot of self-care or decompressing or reflecting today, but I did. Because in all of those things, I really got a chance to see the growth in certain areas of the goals that I already had set out. And I also got to see what areas I've been really challenged with throughout the semester, as well as those challenging areas, kind of working on ways that I can become better moving forward. So that is what the day been like for your good sis. That is what today has been like for me. I am finishing off the day. I cooked. I'm getting ready to eat me some tacos, even though it's Wednesday. I thought it was Tuesday this whole time. But anyway, I'm getting ready to eat me some tacos. So I cooked some tacos because y'all know I love tacos and I don't play about tacos and I don't play about queso. But it's not even Tuesday, so who really cares? But I'm getting ready to eat. I got me a little glass of wine. I have something else I want to talk to y'all about too. But we're going to actually talk about a little topic, a little legal topic, a little situation that's going on that just happened today. But before, I want to finish this last thought about decompressing and reflecting on the semester today. I also realized a very big challenge for me, and you all tell me if this is something that y'all deal with. I literally, once I knew that I was finished with the semester and that I was now about to have all this time to start working on things, I immediately started trying to tackle every single thing. So that is a challenge for me because y'all see this background in here right now, or whatever, this little backdrop, it's not finished. However, it looked cute, right? But it's not done. It's so much more that I have to finish with it. So my thought process earlier today was like, and I say earlier, like probably like an hour before I just started recording this video, I started pulling out freaking toolkit and stuff, getting ready to like get to work and finish this up and put the stuff up on the wall and the signs and yada, yada, yada. And then I was like, wait, sis, you ain't got to do everything today. You do not have to accomplish everything right now. So that is a challenge for me in wanting everything that I set out to do to be done now. So I'm always in this like, do it now, do it now, do it now, or I don't want to do it. Or like if I ask somebody to do something, you don't do it now. Like that frustrates me. So I'm trying to, not they making all that noise up there. I'm trying to learn how to get out of that. So a big little accomplishment for me today in realizing that number one is a challenge in my life, but also in dealing with that, I put that check and I was like, no, we ain't doing that today. Like you have time to get all the stuff done that you want to get done. And if you don't get all the stuff done that you want to get done, you gonna make some other time to get that stuff done. You don't have to do it all today. So that's a thing for me. That is a challenge for me. When I want something done, I want it done now. And it's like to the point where I will stop everything, forget everything else. I'm doing this. Like I want this done. I said I was going to do this. I'm doing it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I have to get out of that way of thinking because it makes me get into a zone of, if I cannot accomplish this today, because I didn't accomplish this today, I'm not doing it. Or like, I don't think I can do it or whatever. So then it's set to the side for however long. I may not ever come back to it. So that's problematic because it's like, girl, do a little bit of it and keep it moving. You can finish it tomorrow. You can finish it next week. Like you don't have to do it all now. That was a big thing for me today. So now I'm gonna take me a little sip of my drink and then we're gonna get into this little legal topic or whatever that's happening today that I know y'all want to know about. I know y'all want to talk about it because all I see on my phone is stuff about Gunna. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Gunna. First and foremost, if you don't know, I'm gonna catch y'all up to speed real quick about what's been going on with these Rico charges with Gunna, YSL, because obviously it's not just Gunna, but today we're talking about Gunna because Gunna just pled a guilty plea. So we about to talk about that. So, all right, if you don't know, Gunna, which let me tell y'all this man's name. I'm dropping governments today. All right, so Gunna, who is, you know, a rapper. He is in YSL. We not allegedly no more, because he came out and said he a part of YSL. So there's that. So Gunna, who is a famous rapper here in Georgia, a part of YSL. Him and several others, Young Thug and a lot of other members that are allegedly a part of YSL, they were charged with the Rico charges. Now, Rico and racketeering charges, and pretty much what that means in layman's terms is they are a part of some illegal activity and they're talking about it in some type of way. So talking about it in this context is they rapping about it in their songs, whether it's Gunna, Young Thug, or other members, or if they are associated with the people that they believe are allegedly members of this organization that's causing crime, all that, right? So that's the charges that were brought that he's facing, amongst a few other charges. So he has been in jail. They had some bond hearings, and judge was like, nah, they did not have any bond amount set. I'm talking about I'm talking about Gunna. We only talk about Gunna. So Gunna did not get any bond amount set when he had his hearing for a bond determination, because pretty much the state was over there arguing like, nah, they don't need to be released. They are going to be involved with members that are in this alleged gang or their organization. I ain't gonna say gang. Members that are involved in this organization, or they gonna go messing with somebody and try to destroy this case. So pretty much saying that they were either gonna be at flight risk, or they were gonna be a danger to the community or to other witnesses in putting the case together. So Gunna did not get a bond. So he been sitting in jail all this time. I think it's been, when did he go to jail? See, I don't got all that information. We ain't talking about that right now, but he been in jail for a little bit. He been in jail for a minute. It's been some months for sure. So he been in jail sitting, waiting for the trial, basically. And he does have an attorney. So long story short, he been sitting in jail. Obviously, as he's sitting in jail, he still has his innocence intact. So he had not made any statements saying that he was guilty. He had not made or accepted any plea stating that he was guilty or anything of that nature. Now, I do not know if this was the first time that they decided to exchange or consider a guilty plea, because a lot of times early on in the criminal process, the state will offer some type of guilty plea to the defendant. And then, of course, a defendant early on in the stages, because they don't want to be in jail or for whatever other reason, but typically it's because they don't want to sit in jail. And they know, hey, if I accept this guilty plea, whether I'm guilty or not, whether I know if I can go to trial and win this case, I'm going to take this guilty plea if it's going to let me go home today. Right? So that's typically what happens with guilty pleas within the criminal process. Typically what happens. You get a guilty plea early on in the process, and most defendants are going to take it. That is very controversial for me. And personally, I believe that based on the circumstances in the situation, and that could be whether you have a family, whether you may have a family and you may have a child, and it's like, yo, I don't care how long I got to sit in this jail. I'm not accepting a guilty plea that's going to allow for my child to believe that I committed this crime, whether it's a heinous crime or whatever. So that's the thoughts that people have, defendants have in the whole guilty plea process, because that's typically how it goes. However, I'm not sure if this was the first guilty plea. There are some situations where you'll get a guilty plea you'll get an opportunity to accept a guilty plea early on in the process, and the state will be like, okay, if you accept this guilty plea, I will lessen your charge and you'll only have to serve this amount of time. But if you don't accept this guilty plea, then I'm gonna charge you with the highest crime or whatever. So that's kind of how that goes. But like I said, I'm not sure if this was the first guilty plea conversation or opportunity in his case. So that's that. But long story short, today, November 14th, he he made a Alford guilty plea, and an Alford guilty plea is kind of like a no-lo plea. So if you've ever gotten a speeding ticket and you went to court for it, and whether you were speeding or not, or whatever the case may be, you feel like you're innocent and you should not be being charged with this offense, you can decide, hey, I'm not admitting to being guilty of what you're saying that I did. However, I am going to admit that it's likely that you'll be able to make this case out against me, right? So what an Alford plea is saying is, I am keeping my innocence intact. So I'm not saying I'm guilty by any means necessary. However, I am saying that because you are bringing this charge against me, I believe that you may be able to make out a case with whatever facts. So I'm going to accept this plea, but I'm still maintaining my innocence. So that is what an Alford guilty plea is. And that is what our dear friend Gunna has done today. So he is in essence still keeping his innocence intact. However, he's agreeing that he's saying, hey, I'm gonna take this Alford guilty plea and I'm going to take whatever consequences comes with it. So although you take a guilty plea, that don't mean that everything's just wiped away. So this is what a lot of people get wrong. Now, you accept a guilty plea, it does not necessarily mean this case is done, the charges are dropped. Whatever that guilty plea is negotiated with, so say the prosecutor is like, okay, if you plead guilty to whatever charge, I will basically recommend a sentence of 1 year instead of like a mandatory sentence of 10, 15 years for a charge. So they can the prosecutor is going to be able to, on top of that guilty plea, they're going to be able to negotiate back and forth with the defense their requirements that they want in place under this guilty plea. So for Gunna, it looks like with his Alford plea, he has what has he done? Okay, so for Gunna's guilty plea, the exchange for his guilty plea is he will not serve any time in prison. So of course you all know he's been in jail since this whole situation, since these charges began, and he was convicted because indicted. They were indicted. So he's been in jail all of this time. So pretty much it looks like what they negotiated is that, okay, we gonna chalk up the time that you already spent in here, and that's just gonna wipe out the rest of the time that you would have to serve, which it looks like it was gonna be 5 years with 1 year to serve in prison. So he would have had to serve 1 year in prison, but instead they're like, all right, we gonna let the time that you served override, and that's gonna wipe out the rest of the year sentence. So the time that he served in jail while waiting up until this day that he just took this guilty plea basically equated to the 1 year sentence. So he does not have to spend any time in prison now, any additional time. So that's a part of the guilty plea. And then also he has to complete 500 hours of community service, and 350 of those hours are going to include him speaking to young men and women in the community about the dangers of gangs and gun violence. About the dangers of gangs and gang violence. That is very interesting. But one thing you pretty much can never go wrong with doing is doing something, getting in trouble for it, and then turning around and changing your life and showing everybody how that is not the right thing to do, right? So this is very common where someone may get like have an assault charge or a domestic charge or something, anything, a DUI, and they will, if whatever they go through their case, however that ends up, and then they will decide to turn their life around and make a change in the community by going around and talking to people about the dangers of drinking intoxicated, and I mean driving while intoxicated, or the dangers of being involved in whatever activity they may have been involved in. Just kind of like helping the justice system and deterring this type of activity. So it's deterrence, because when someone's punished for something, that also is obviously, you know, penalized, but within that, within the criminal justice system, there's also a deterrence portion that allows for something to happen, and then for one person or a multitude of people to go tell others why they should not do this because it'll lead to X, Y, or Z. So deterring the bad behavior before it begins, or, you know, at some point if it's already began. Here in this situation, Gunna going and talking to young men and women about gangs and gang violence is a deterrent in him helping the communities that are involved in those type of activities. So that is what my boy is doing, and I can't tell y'all no lie. I'm happy my boy Gunna out. I'm happy my boy is free, okay? Because we need some music. But no, for real, I just think that the Rico charges, the racketeering, it's all a lot. It's a lot. However, I do understand both sides of it. So it's kind of difficult to stand on one side, to stand firmly on one side, because I understand. Like, I understand the implications behind it. I understand the consequences and the things that lead up to the behavior when you are engaged in what it is they were charged for. But I also understand music, and I understand rap, and I understand, you know, like the other side of it, the life that these people come from. So it's very, very interesting. And honestly, I have no concrete stance on the issue regarding Rico charges and racketeering and those natures, because for one, I think I do not have enough information. But two, I just think that it's something that is very like dependent on the circumstances, because I can see both sides in it, and I can see myself kind of weighing in on both sides. So that is that for my guy Gunna, another black man is free, okay? About to get back to his business, about to get back to the grind, period. So that's always a blessing. And hopefully this is just a lesson learned from him. I mean, a lesson learned for him as well as for others in our communities around him, whatever the case may be. So we praying for Young Thug to come out soon, because give us our guy. This is worth mentioning. Okay. With an Alford guilty plea, I just hope the camera is focused because I really don't have the time. But with an Alford guilty plea, now, although he has walked away from this at the moment, because this is where the system will trick you up. Now, with the Alford guilty plea, although he is now released and the charges are now closed, right? He can still be called to testify because there are other co-defendants in this case. So there are other alleged members of YSL that are within this case that still have their charges pending, that if they go to trial, so if they do not accept any guilty pleas before trial and they go to trial, that Gunna may be called to testify within this trial, right? So therefore that means, however, we can't forget, he can invoke his Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination, because obviously he was a co-defendant. He is involved and connected in some way to the individuals within this organization. So he can invoke his Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination at any point. However, if he is called to testify and he does testify, he has to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, the whole truth. So help you God. So help him God. Because that right there will be a situation, right? What do you say? What will you do? But that is why you get an attorney to guide you through that. Because you do not want to be the person up there testifying against other co-defendants in activity that's related to you that can somehow connect you back into it. And now, yeah, this is done. So this case is dismissed. This charge is dismissed for you, but that does not mean that they cannot now use whatever you testified, use your testimony to try to charge you in another proceeding. So there's a little tidbit for y'all, because a lot of people probably don't really know that. But we happy about my boy Gunna. We waiting on the rest of our guys to be free. And yeah, let me know y'all take on this. How do you all feel about this controversial topic about Rico charges, about racketeering charges? How y'all feel about Gunna being let out? Do y'all feel like he should have took a guilty plea? Do you feel like he should have waited and went to trial? What do you all think was the best decision for him? Do y'all think he made the best decision? Do y'all even care? Do y'all even know what I'm talking about? I hope that y'all enjoyed today's video. I love y'all so much. It is Vlogmas day 14. So that means we have, oh wow, it's literally 11 days left until Christmas. 14, 15. It's 11 more days until Christmas. Let me go get my reindeer and change the dates, and then we gonna be out. There are 11 more days until Christmas. I hope you all are enjoying December. I hope you all are getting real festive. And yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow in Vlogmas day 15. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Go back and watch all the other Vlogmas videos and get ready for tomorrow's Vlogmas video. All right, see y'all later. Bye, guys.